Being cool, as defined by Wikipedia, is having a certain aesthetic of attitude, behavior, style, and appearance, which other people perceive as admirable. Obviously, being cool
Tyler, Zendaya, those girls are like my type.
is such a subjective concept. It varies from person to person.
Video based on solely my opinion, so you may consume
But
content.
there are some people out there who everyone just loves, admires, and thinks is cool. There are certain qualities that are actually common
For no reason. Let me think. I think a lot of rappers are admired for no reason. For no reason at all, bro. Like, let's say like NBA YoungBoy, right? NBA YoungBoy is a legitimate crash out, bro. Like he has all these face tattoos, upside down cross, coffins. I think he has "Help Me" on his chest or something. Like Buddy is literally not there. Like he is a literal mental patient. Like he belongs in a mental facility, and people worship him. Which, to be honest, the people that are worshiping NBA YoungBoy might be more botted than NBA YoungBoy himself, bro. And it's interesting how money and fame can literally get a whole community of people to worship you for absolutely no reason, bro. His music is good. Like he has pretty good music. I wouldn't say it's positive music, but he has pretty good music. But at the end of the day, it's just like, bro, you're a crash out. Like, why would anybody want to look up to you or be influenced to you? Because your life path, the life path that NBA YoungBoy is taking, is drug addiction because he's addicted to drugs for sure. Jail or death are the only three things that NBA Young Life is gonna bring you, and this reminds me of hell. So why would you ever want to be in that state of hell? So be very careful on who you admire and who you look up to and who you want to be.
These people who are commonly seen as cool, which is what we'll be talking about today. Hello and welcome. Today's cup of tea is lemon and ginger tea.
Bro,
which
that
is
would be
probably one of my
gas, bro.
favorite teas ever.
I would love that right now.
It smells really good. Anyway, recently I came across this person who is a filmmaker, and he said that if he had to make a formula to develop a character who is cool, it'll be like this. Cool is equal to competent plus calm plus confident. It's the 3C formula. Think about someone who you admire and you think is really cool, because I bet that they will check off each of these criteria. Or even think about all those iconic fictional characters. For example, Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders, or Jack Sparrow, who's my favorite, or even Ho Yeon-jung from Squid Game. If you look at Tommy Shelby, for example,
you know who's super cool? Misaka from Attack on Titans. If you know, you know.
In terms of competency, he's really good at business. He knows what he's doing, as well as thug-related things, because that's the main part of his character, but we'll ignore that. In terms of confidence, when he enters a room, he exudes extreme confidence. And finally, he's super calm. Like, mans will be pointed a gun at, and he'll just be like, he wouldn't even budge. But obviously these are fictional characters. It's hard to be mysterious like Tommy Shelby every day of your life. So what about real life then? Over the last year, I came across 3 people who just embody this definition of cool so perfectly. And yes, they check off each of those criteria on that how to be cool formula that I mentioned earlier, but we'll be digging a bit deeper into that. And you might think that my definition of cool is biased. Like, I do think that people like Tommy Shelby are really cool, but these 3 people, they're not all like just mysterious and dark or biased towards my idea of cool. In fact, all 3 of them have very, very different personalities. One of these people is this guy who doesn't have a care in the world. He usually just messes around, yet he can achieve crazy things, and he's so inspiring. Low-key, he reminds me of those kids back in school who would like never study, they would just mess around, and they get like the best grades. Like, what about me? The other person is this girl who's on top of everything, is the definition of that girl. She goes to the gym, has really good diet, and all of those things. And the third person is someone who's just edgy and mysterious, has a dark kind of vibe, but they're also cool. Despite the vast differences across these three people, everyone loves them.
When you get really cool, you're a mix of all three. You go to the gym. You kind of don't care, like the first guy. And then the third girl, you're still mysterious, a little edgy, a little dark. But dark, when I say dark, I like a dark aesthetic, me personally, and that's a little objective, or subjective. However, when I mean dark, I don't mean negative. I think positivity is insanely cool. And everybody loves to be around a positive person. And me personally, I think the opposite of being cool is being negative and complaining. If you're around me and you're complaining, I want you to be away from me at all times possible, bro. Complaining, being negative, talking bad about others is not cool. Being positive, uplifting others, making people smile, super cool.
From spending time with these people, being their friend, interacting with them, observing them and analyzing them in a way, I came to find out that there are certain qualities that are common across all of these people, despite their differences. And I think that these are the things that set them apart from your average person. Number one, they're confident without being arrogant about it. And they're never trying to prove a point to anyone. They just are, they exist, and that itself proves a point. Unfortunately,
a rule to be confident is do not try to get approval from others. Take it out of your mind. Do not try to get approval from others. And when you only want approval from yourself is the basis and foundation to being confident. Another thing about being confident is delusion. Me personally, I think I'm like an 8 out of 10 in looks. I'm 6'3". I'm in pretty good shape, you know what I'm saying? Have good hair. I'm like an 8 out of 10. But when I walk in a room, I think I'm a 10 out of 10. That delusion is not going to affect me in a negative way. It's only going to benefit how I am. And me personally, I feel like a 10 out of 10. And I don't care what you think. Boom, that's instant confidence and that's instant aura.
Unfortunately, too many of us live every day trying to prove a point to someone out there who probably doesn't even think about us that much. You and me, the minute that we stop trying to be cool is probably when we will be cool. That's probably gonna be in forever because for some reason, I'm just obsessed with being cool. I love it. I love when people say that I'm cool. Secondly, they are authentic. They are unapologetically themselves. In addition, they also hold themselves in high regard. They have a lot of self-respect and self-love for themselves, hopefully without being too narcissistic. And that's what gives them that confidence more than anything else. Something that makes them authentic.
Authenticity is the number one vibration you can give off. When you are authentic and when you are truly yourself, people can feel that. When you're trying to be somebody else, people can feel that. Be authentic, and again, it doesn't matter what people think about who you truly are. It only matters that you know who you truly are and that you're happy about it.
Is that they very well know who they are. They have a high level of self-awareness. They know what their values are. They know what their flaws are without being too harsh of it. And they are accepting of who they are without being ashamed of it. And this allows them to just be themselves unapologetically. It means that they would rather be hated for who they are than be loved for someone they're not. But being authentic is not something that just naturally comes to everyone. And if it isn't, possibly and potentially, it could be traced back to your childhood. Maybe you grew up having a certain trait. Maybe you talked a lot And growing up, your parents may have told you to be quiet, stop talking too much, and you try to hide that growing up. And being reprimanded like that for a trait that you just naturally had as an adult without even knowing you are hiding parts of yourself that you were forced to hide because of those childhood experiences. And you'd have to touch base with those things that happened in the past to rediscover parts of you who you really are. Thirdly, they have good
An important tip for self-discovery is put the phone down and spend a lot of time with yourself. Understand that you are your environment, and if you're constantly bombarding yourself with other people, other people's opinions, other people's energy, and you're always just needing other people around you to find an identity, that's when you do not know yourself. And if you want to find who you truly are, put the phone down and spend some time by yourself with your thoughts and do things that you truly like to do. Like if you, me personally, I truly love playing basketball by myself or with people. I truly love talking. I truly love learning. I truly love music. I truly love meditating, stretching. I love doing the basis foundations of life. And I wouldn't know that if I was constantly comparing myself to others or just spending time with others just because I thought they were cool, but they weren't doing the stuff that I truly wanted to do. So, again, to find yourself, spend time with yourself, take yourself out on dates. I take myself out to eat all the time, bro. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
social skills. These cool people, they're able to talk to anyone and make the conversation flow. They have that ability to make you feel special. And I think a lot of that has to do with them being able to actively listen. They actually listen to you, which is honestly such a basic and essential skill that everyone should have. Yet I think these days, so many people don't have it. Social media is to blame for that because our attention spans have been fried so bad.
What's up, bro?
That when you're trying to listen to someone and they're talking to you, you notice how after a minute, your focus it leaves the chat. It's a really valuable skill to have because you can easily impress people with it. That's not the reason why you should actively listen, but it's pretty cool. Because when I talk to these cool people in my life, they pick up on the really small details. I might tell them that I'm gonna go somewhere in a month's time, and literally a month's time later, they'll ask me, "Oh, Anne, did you go to that place you said you were going to?" And I would be blown out of my mind. I'll be like, "What? You remember that?" And it makes you feel so special. And they're also really good at picking up social cues. They know how to read another person's face when they're talking to them. They know when someone is feeling uncomfortable, when someone needs a hug, or when someone is happy, and they know how to respond accordingly to that. Oh my gosh, I just missed it.
Everything she is saying is on point. Effective communication is insanely important for every aspect of life. When it comes to building relationships, when it comes to making money, when it comes to effectively communicating with yourself, when you know you need to do something, so that conversation in your head is so effective where you do the thing that you need to do. Effective communication is one of the best skills I have learned, and I recommend absolutely everybody to learn it. I don't care if you're an introvert, extrovert, none of these. I don't care your personality type. You need to learn how to communicate. It's insanely important. Why? Because people are the most important things in the entire world, and the way we connect with people is through communication.
They also make the other person feel very valued because they talk about them, they ask about you. Most people just like to talk about themselves.
Wow, bro.
And when people actually make the effort to ask about you, it's wow. The fourth point is that they have good style. Like it or not, things like presentation and appearance does play a role in how others perceive you and how you feel about yourself, most importantly. Does that mean that they're always wearing designer brands and expensive clothes? No, it doesn't. But They know what looks good on them, and it might be very subtle things or very particular things, but whatever it is, it makes them look freaking good. They pull it off really well. And finally, cool people.
Style is insanely important, and here's the secret about style. Everybody has their own style to speak, their own style to walk, their own style to dress. Everybody has their own style. I learned this playing basketball, right? Russell Westbrook has his style of dribble, rim, prime Russell Westbrook, of course. Get up to the rim, yam, athletic lays, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving is an insane dribbler, athletic lays. But then you have people like Klay Thompson. His style is just pull up three, pull up three, pull up three. And then you have people like Luka Doncic. His style is smooth, slow dribbler. The same thing with SGA, smooth, slow dribbler. Everybody has their own style in absolutely everything we do. So find your own style. Don't try to copy somebody else's swag. Create your own. If you find a shirt that you feel comfortable in, that you like, wear it. And it goes back to, you don't need anybody else's approval. You only need your own. And that's how you're able to pull it off very well.
People expose themselves to various experiences. They're willing to try new things and meet different people. I think the reason that this makes you cool is because the more you have experiences and you go out into the world, you learn more about it, you become kind of calm and you don't sweat the small stuff, or you don't really care about other people's opinions as much anymore. It's hard to put my finger on the exact correlation, but it's almost like as we age and we get older, inevitably the less we care about other people's opinions because we have more experiences. And these experiences allow them to develop a more broader view of the world, of themselves and people around them. It means that they are more mature and they can be more at peace within themselves. That also means that you have more things to talk about. You have more perspectives on things which can make you seem more interesting to other people.
Facts.
For example, if I told you I, of all people, went skydiving, that might maybe make me seem cool to you because it's an experience that I could talk about, and it's an experience that you might not have had. If you forgot everything that I just said, then I think this sentence captures it really well. Being cool is really about confidence more than anything else. People who are clearly comfortable in their own skin, not particularly bothered by other people, but pretty good at interacting with them, being subtly their unique selves just to prove the point that they are cool without trying. Yeah, that's all from me. Take care, bye.
She was on the dot. Let's see. She just earned a subscriber. She was literally on the dot. Everything she said, I agree with. Not only does all this make you cool, it makes you insanely seductive. What's the definition of seductive? Penetrating another person's mind where you're actually seducing them into a relationship and you actually getting to know the person and connecting to the person better. For example, what I really liked that she said was looking out for what can I do for you rather than what's in it for me. Because eventually, whatever you give back to the world is going to come back to you, which is just everything she said was on point, bro. This was how to be cool. I hope you guys learned something and sat back in.